Hey guys, someone is back from a million years ago. I haven't recorded anything in a while because of school, and as you can see, I am speaking more confident in front of this microphone now because who cares? Anyway, I am here to read Shadow's Green Notebook, Chapter 7. I've read Chapter 6, and in that chapter, Shadow has finally confessed his feelings towards Amy, and Amy has accepted them. So now we're gonna see what their life is like at school now that they know that they like each other. And of course, Rouge would want to know all the details. So here we go. So what happened? Did it go well? I'm reading, Rouge. How can you read at a time like this? What happened last night? A gentleman never kisses and tells. Oh, so there was kissing. Reading, Rouge. The bad girl huffed and crossed her arms over her chest in frustration. All that time she's beckoning us together, and I was refusing to tell her anything. I guess I might have looked a little ungrateful. Fine, she finally sighed in defeat. Fine, don't tell me. I just won't tell you about phase 2 of my plan. I glanced up from my book and caught her giving me a mischievous look. Phase 2 sounded bad, but I was in too good a mood to care at the time. So I went back to my book. You're so funny, Shadow. And you're just figuring that out? That was when Amy walked over to our table. She had a shy smile on her face as she met my gaze. Can I sit here? I smiled back at her. Sure. Rouge watched with astonishment as the pink hedgehog sat down beside me and peeked over my shoulder to see what I was reading. For the sake of screwing with Rouge, I held the book between Amy and I, and the two of us read silently for a while. I could feel the bat's sky blue daggers burning through my skull as I pretended to be involved in whatever the hell I was reading that day. The first bell rang, signaling a 5-minute warning before first period. Amy went to stand and leave, but hesitated. She looked uncertainly at me and seemed to think for a moment, and then she leaned forward and kissed my cheek. I could almost hear Rouge's jaw hitting the floor. I'll see you in class, okay? Amy asked sweetly. I nodded, trying to hide my joy. The spot where she kissed me burned and flared like fire. Yeah, I confirmed. I'll see you. There was a second and a half of silence after Amy walked away. And then Rouge unleashed her wrath. Okay, what the hell was that? I held up my book to show her the cover to let her know that I was still reading. Apparently, though, she had enough of my bullcrap. Her hand shot forward like a viper as she snatched the book out of my hand. She turned to her left and hurled it away, sending it skidding across the tile. Never kiss and tell, she mocked, with a snort. Jackass. I stopped myself from laughing. The last thing I wanted to do now was piss her off, and I honestly was grateful for her help in bringing Amy and I together. So I compromised. Look, Rouge, I'll tell you about last night later, okay? She refused to make eye contact with me. I frowned. Come on, Rouge. Her eyes flickered towards me, unsure, and then she turned directly towards me. You will tell me all about it. The way she was looking at me, it was hard to stay strong. Yes, I caved. I'll tell you all about it. Rouge's face suddenly lit up. Will you let me read about it in your notebook? That was where I drew the line. No way in hell. She flexed her wings, considering my offer. Her lips puckered sadly. Oh, all right, but you better tell me everything, shouted the hedgehog. I helped her out of her seat and started walking towards our first period. But she walked the other way. Where are you going? I asked. She turned around and scoffed as though it should have been obvious. The library. Duh. You? Go to a library? And nobody's forcing you? It's for a book report, smartass. I'll see you in algebra. Just tell the teacher I'm printing something. Got it. As I turned and walked away, shaking my head and smiling at myself, I couldn't help but think about how great things were finally going for me. Amy finally knew how I felt and was okay with it. Maybe even agreement with it. The burden that had been lifted from my chest was akin to the removal of an anvil from my heart. Well, that's a weird way of putting it, but it's not like anyone's ever going to read this damn thing. I was so engrossed in my newfound happiness, I didn't notice the blue hedgehog standing in my path as I rounded the corner. But when I did, I saw his dark green eyes lock with mine, exhausted but filled with ideas of vengeance. I stopped in front of him. He was leaning against the locker on his right side, my left, and his clenched fists were tucked into his pockets. There was a series of bandages crisscrossing his bruised face. "What's up, Shadow?" he almost growled, but he barely managed a normal tone. I touched the bruises on my chin and face, partially to let him know that he was the only one who was hurt and pissed, and partially to remind myself that I wasn't in the mood for another fight. I have to get to class. I shoved past him with my shoulder, but not before he grabbed me by said shoulder and hissed into my ear, "After school, you and me. Got it?" I wasn't going to be goaded into a fight, especially not by Sonic. "Piss off," I spat, pushing him out of my way. I'll tell everyone you backed out," he threatened. "Like I give a damn," I retorted, walking away. "I'll tell Amy I love her," he suddenly said. I froze. There was a pause as the severity of those words sunk in, and then I turned to look at Sonic. What makes you think I care about... "Oh, come on, Faker," Sonic sneered. "It's so freaking obvious that you like her. I, for one, am glad that she's found someone. No, seriously, I am. But you know for a fact how much she likes me, and I have to pull on that chain and send her crawling back to me. I will." I lunged forward, unaware of my movements, and I took him by the throat and slammed him against the lockers. "Never," I snarled. "Never talk about Amy like she's a dog." For a second, Sonic's eyes widened and seemed to grow hazy, as though he suddenly realized realized that what he was doing was wrong, even by his standards. But then he smiled at me. "So, I'll see you after school?" I let go of him quietly and slowly, realizing that he truly did have that kind of power over Amy. It was my responsibility now to never let him toy with that power, to help Amy resist it. "Yeah," I growled in defeat. "I'll see you after school." Oh, well, I got that under 7 minutes, and that's good because stupid YouTube won't even let me go over 15 minutes until I verify an email. Well, this chapter was good. Sonic wants to fight Shadow, and he's willing to play with Amy just to get Shadow to fight him. Boys these days, that's just like how it is in my school. Anyway, I'm gonna start chapter 8. I might as well just finish the story today. I hope you like the reading. Please support ShadowWeasel and his stories. Really good. He's working on the Ballad of Shadow the Hedgehog right now. That story is really good if you're into westerns. Even if you're not into westerns, it's still really good. Got my attention. Anyway, have a good day.